From the cast performing insane stunts on their own, to goofing around painting dead people's toenails, here are some of the Fast X BTS moments revealed. Starting with this action-packed scene that you'll never believe was performed by the original cast. With Fast and Furious, there's no shortage of high-octane stunts that will make your heart skip a beat. But did you know that many scenes you see on screen are performed by the cast? Our favorite on-screen family takes pride in doing their own stunts, bringing an extra layer of authenticity to the silver screen. So the next time you see Dom Toretto soaring through the air in a gravity-defying car jump, remember that it's Vin Diesel himself behind the wheel. And he's not the only one. Michelle Rodriguez and Charlize Theron's characters in the latest movie in the franchise have an action-packed scene together, where they had to participate in hand-to-hand combat against each other. If you've seen the movie, you know just how insane that sequence was. The actors performed the entire thing without a director. Director Justin Lin left the film in the middle of rumors of an altercation with lead star Vin Diesel, so Rodriguez and Theron had to use a second unit director in place of a principal one. According to Rodriguez, Charlize is a monster. And I'm sure Rodriguez herself is no joke, so if you really think about it, it's not surprising that the sequence turned out as great as it did. The Fast and Furious franchise has become known for pushing the boundaries of what's possible on the big screen, but Fast X has really gone above and beyond. Remember what I said about Justin Lin quitting the movie? There's more to what happened with that major behind-the-scenes feud. After Lin quit, Leterrier took over just a week into production. When he joined, he felt the cast wasn't as big as he'd like it to be. So, what did he do? He brought back characters presumed dead since Fast and Furious 6. Agent Hobbs, played by none other than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and Giselle, played by Gal Gadot. Gadot left the series drama-free after her character was killed off. But there was a lot more to The Rock's exit. It was because of some real-life drama between him and Vin Diesel. Johnson allegedly swore that he'd never return to the franchise, all because of his long-term feud with Diesel. But you know how things go in Hollywood. It's all very fast-paced. Now, Hobbs is back. He announced his return in the Fast X mid-credits scene. How did that happen, you ask? Well, according to Leterrier, it was the movie that made the case for itself. He said that he reached out to Dwayne and his team, asked them to watch the movie, and it was really as simple as that. Johnson fell in love with it, and he decided to come back on board. While that's all for this juicy drama, let's talk about how the crew had to get creative with one of the most explosive scenes ever filmed. Early on in the movie, Dom and his crew are chasing after a huge ticking time bomb before it can blow up the Vatican. In this jaw-dropping moment, the filmmakers decided to ignite a massive fireball that engulfed an entire city block. Now, I know what you're thinking. They probably used some complicated CGI effects to achieve the fiery spectacle, right? Wrong. Not all of it was CGI. The crew actually built an incredibly practical set, complete with controlled explosions and fire effects that left the entire cast and crew in awe. According to director Louis Leterrier, they rolled a 1-ton metal ball covered in just gasoline, flaming gasoline, down the streets of Rome. The sequence showed a bomb barreling through every single thing in its path, crushing cars, smashing statues, and absolutely annihilating a water fountain, all while Dom desperately chased it down. Take a look at some of the stunt footage and you'll see the inflamed ball being pulled along on wires. When it rolls over a police car and decimates a giant bus in its path, all real. They had Vin do a 180 in front of an exploding bomb right before the giant ball rolled over a bridge into a river. It's all an example of good old-fashioned movie magic that'll leave you wondering how they pulled it off, and without setting the city ablaze. Then, there's how the movie introduced its primary villain. Fast X features the franchise debut of Jason Momoa as Dante Reyes, the son of Hernan Reyes, who was the villain in Fast 5. Momoa has become the Fast franchise's most fun villain so far, with many people even comparing him to DC's Joker. According to Leterrier, here's how they got Dante to really get into the character. They apparently used deleted scenes from Fast 5 to recreate a major scene in Fast X. That's how they managed to include Momoa's character in the movie. The director for Fast X got into the archival department of Universal Studios, which is how he got his hands on the perfect scene. Since Fast 5 was shot on 35mm, the director managed to transfer all the footage and worked on what parts of the unused footage he could make use of. So here's what they did. The characters from Fast X were placed into pre-existing footage, all with the help of motion control and CGI. They also shot some new scenes using the same cameras and film stock as Fast 5. How cool is that? Hold on tight for some more Dante as I reveal one more exciting BTS detail that might make a disturbing scene a little less so. This is one that people can't seem to stop talking about. The scene involves Dante painting the toenails of two deceased henchmen while making conversation with their dead bodies. It's a pretty disturbing but also a bit funny scene, but not as funny as Momoa's BTS pictures. The actor took to Instagram to share the photos and captioned them with, "Love you, Kimmy. So excited for the world to see Fast X." According to director Leterrier, they tried really hard to have that scene included in the final cut. They wanted it to be part of the movie so they could portray the twisted nature of Dante's character, instead of having it seem like just an act. He said that when they shot the scene, they expected it to be turned into a DVD extra, or maybe even a scene that would be included in the director's cut version later on. They went on to test the movie without the scene, and then they did it with the scene. The audience loved it. Universal Studios chairman Donna Langley said that she loved the insanity of that scene. So that's a risk that paid off. What else do we know about the latest addition to the Fast franchise? The 10th installment is supposed to be split into not 2, but 3 separate films. While promoting the new film, Diesel hinted that the final movie might be split into 3 parts, rather than 2, which is what was initially planned. Considering how successful these movies have been and how much money they've made at the box office, it wouldn't be all that surprising if they decided to keep it going. The main films may be coming to a close, but the entire franchise isn't ready to hit the brakes just yet. We've already got a Hobbs and Shaw spin-off, and now there's talk of more to come. The female leads of the franchise have been trying to get a female-led film for a while now. A fair request, considering how all the past movies have been led by men. Back in 2017, Diesel talked about a female-led spin-off being in the works, but also said that it wasn't going to happen until after the original franchise came to a close. Since then, we've definitely seen more female cameos, like the characters played by Helen Mirren, Brie Larson, and Gal Gadot. Even Michelle Rodriguez, who's been a major part of the franchise from the very beginning, has publicly talked about the need for more female representation in the franchise. She's even threatened to leave at one point if they didn't do something about it. Either way, the original movies aren't coming to a close before 2025. So there's still quite a bit of time for fans to wait and see what happens with the spin-offs. So, from the cast goofing around painting dead people's toenails to performing absolutely insane stunts on their own, those were some Fast X BTS moments revealed.